motion and second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
It's approved. Okay, Larry, Virgil?
Alright, so this is 809 34th Avenue. She's been working on this house, making some progress. She has got her plumbing done on the inside. I met with her this morning, talked with her about a few things, and she was having some issues with the roof system that was put on there, and we were addressing it. But what we're asking her to do is to continue working on the inside, but we're gonna try to get the outside buttoned up in the next 60 days or so we can withdraw this one and let it just play out through the permitting system.
I think this house is in my district, correct?
Yes.
That's what I thought, yeah. I think we ought to go with that. I support that.
So 60 days is what me and her discussed. About 60 days, she can have her outside finished up, all the siding done and everything, make it, and I told her to clean it up real good, make it look like it's ready to move in, and then just continue on with the interior repairs.
think that's
Can we see the outside again?
Sir?
Can we see the outside?
Yes.
What's the-
That's like in the Newtown area, almost in the west end, yeah.
We got one more.
Okay.
This is 4305 Stillman Boulevard. As of today, his roof is about 90% complete. We've discussed with him basically the same thing. We're gonna get the exterior completely buttoned up, make it move in, look like it's move-in ready, and then continue the interior repairs under the permitting system. And I think,
Oh, wow.
30 or 60 on this one, Barry? 60 days on this, and he should be
Yep.
able to get this one same way. So,
And Virgil and Barry, I want to thank y'all how you all really work hard to remove the blighted areas from our district. Thank y'all so much for how y'all work diligently.
thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
That's all we've got for tonight.
I have a question, Barry, maybe for you and Virgil both, concerning what we talked about yesterday. I have a house and y'all off, I know Jimbo is not here, but, I need for the residents of 11th Street East to know how I'm as equally frustrated as they are. For the council, because you may have this happen to you one day too. We condemned the house on 11th Street. It is really, really bad. And we condemned it, and they appealed. The appeal was denied. And then he appealed again, I understand, to the next level. And they're waiting. So my question is, how long? Because I mean, this place is unbelievable. It's terrible. I mean, it's awful, exactly, and it's so unfair to the people who have to live next to it, the whole street, and they're all upset. And I understand they're upset. They're upset with me, but you know,
What do they want you to do?
well, they don't.
Tear it down.
You know, I think what they felt like, I said, look, I did all I can do. The council voted to condemn it. They appealed, which everybody has a right to. It was denied. And now he's appealed again. So how long does this go on?
That's gonna be a question for Mr. Holmes here. He's the one, that's a legal question there.
So how long so he's appealed to another court?
Is this the one that went to the Court of Appeals that has the lawsuits?
Mr. Johnson, remember?
That's a hard question to answer. If it's in circuit court, it's in line behind capital murder cases.
I thought his appeal was denied.
His appeal was denied, but he turned the paperwork in too late, he filed an appeal against that.
Yes. And so the court of, that is the case. The Court of Civil Appeals sent it back down, remanded it back down to circuit court. I believe Mr. Woodson is in conversations with them
Okay.
about potentially resolving this. I can ask him to update you on
Okay.
that.
I really do, because I drove by there again yesterday,
Yes, sir.
and to see the people who said that I hadn't done anything,
Yes, sir. I'll send Mr. Woodson an email right now.
and,
We sent Jimbo updated pictures this morning of that property,
yeah.
so hopefully he can expedite this a little bit better.
But I mean, I understand their frustrations, and I don't, it doesn't bother me that what they said yesterday, they're emotional, and I wouldn't wanna live next to a place either. It's terrible.
Well, along those same lines, and I'm not fussing at y'all there, but that house on Birch there in Woodland Forest that burned down, it's been sitting there a long time. I don't know.
We're waiting on PDOT to get up there on that one. It's been condemned, the process is underway on that. We just have to go.
When you walk down that street, you smell like the house is on fire still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, it's just like, it comes to a point, and I'm not blaming anybody in this either, because I know he had a right to appeal, he didn't file his paperwork, and so he appealed that, and it just seemed like, but how long should the people have to, so our residents have to suffer?
I'll ask Mr. Woodson to update you, and I'll also make sure that we can only make the circuit court go so fast.
Right.
But we can certainly make sure that the court's aware that
It's been
this is
about a
one we're
year,
working on. So, yes,
It's been over a year.
over a year, yeah.
but I think it's just recently come back to circuit court here the
Okay.
last couple months.
It's bad. I'm telling you, it's just awful. Okay, well, thank you all. I know you've done everything on your end, but now it's in the courts, but that's hard for some people to really understand. Okay, thank you. Zach?
Yes, sir. So we have one rezoning for you guys. This is at 1210 and 1216 18th Street. Currently zoned ML, going to R4. And this is Council District 2. So you can see here, this is just north of Harry's Bar off Hargrove by Southside Park, I believe is the park right there. And then this is the current zoning map. But as you can see, there is a duplex on that right lot, that eastern lot. And then on the western lot, it's vacant currently, and they're wanting to rezone to from ML to R4 because that existing duplex is actually still lived in. So to match what the use actually is, and then also to build a duplex similar to the one that currently exists. And you can see just south of 18th Street, you can see there are some homes and residences still in the area. This is what that one looks like today. And again, the left side of this picture, they're gonna build a similar duplex there if this goes through. They're just showing you what it might look like. This is identified as Flex Employment Center, so it doesn't technically conform to framework, as you can see here. A lot of that area has transitioned a little bit more to light industrial warehouses, things of that nature, but it still kind of meets the general character of the area if it was a duplex, and obviously there's a duplex directly adjacent to it. And then those are just the permitted uses in the R4 zoning district, and it was unanimously recommended for approval. Any questions on that one?
I did have some concerns, but I was able to answer them. So it was concerns about it being a bigger duplex than what it's gonna actually be. So no one in the area has any concerns with it, and neither do I.
Okay. That's all you had, Zach? Yes, sir. Okay, thank you. Mayor Maddox?
Yes, sir, just real quick, I want to thank everyone related to the Mayor's Cup. By heart, we blew it out of the water, and K-Day and Nicole, Richard's team, they deserve a lot of credit. Everyone involved did a fantastic job. I just can't say enough. A lot of fun, and hopefully we met the goals that we started out in 2007, health and wellness for our employees, which, by the way, knock on wood, everything continues. We will have minimum to no health insurance increases this year, or costs. It'll save the taxpayers millions. It'll save our employees thousands.
That's correct.
So health and wellness is important. Two was to raise awareness about pre-K, and third is to, hopefully at the end of the day, if you can meet those two goals, put a little money back to pre-K. And it's safe to say, I think we met all three, and we were really excited about it, and we appreciate the council support. Saw several of you out there. I think Ms. Howard ran a 15:49 or something like that. But in all seriousness, thank you, Mr. Wilson. I saw you out there.
Hey, I finished 9 minutes quicker.
I ran
saw
by
it.
Mr. Busby's house.
Y'all didn't come by my house.
I thought we went by your house. I was trying to
They
keep.
turned
up
at
with-
Pritchett Moore.
Oh, that's right. That's right before your intersection.
You had the water for you.
Next year. Next year.
I was up here at the start. It was massive.
It was
Yeah, it was great.
a lot of excitement.
So very proud. I have nothing to do with it. It's all of our team. They did all the hard work, and I'm really proud of them.
Well, you know, you gotta get 2,000 next year.
You
Almost
know,
got there, didn't you?
Let's
Was it
let
about
them
100 or something?
celebrate for a week, and then we'll push them.
Wasn't there like over 100 the day of registration?
I don't know how many we had this year, but the
I thought
majority.
1,700 is what you were looking at, but it's 1,877?
I think that was the final number that came through, and we had nearly 1,400 cross the finish line. So as somebody that's ran a lot of races over the last 30 years, 5Ks, half marathons, even marathons, it's one of the best organized races. It's easy. You get to show up. Your bib has a chip in it. It's really, they do a good job of managing the race. I'm really proud of them. Somewhere Sadell Bullard is smiling because this was former Human Resources Associate Director. It was his idea. And
Sadell Bullard.
I remember him.
Yeah, man, what a name, what a blast from the past.
yeah, his idea.
Yeah.
One lady came up to me. She won one of the divisions, and she had on the T-shirt from the first Mayor's Cup.
Oh, wow.
And I said, "Where did you get that?" I don't know if I could find one if I tried.
She still fit in it.
She still finished. She ran every one of them.
Well, what year was that?
2007 or 8. Taylor was a little
15 years.
girl. when
Was this
we
the
started.
15th one?
Yeah, we've had some. We had tornado one year, canceled it, and then a couple of years with COVID.
Well,
So, but thank you all for your support. Hopefully, it was a good event for downtown Tuscaloosa. But I take pride in this. You have an amazing team at the city. I mean, a really amazing team, and I'm really, really proud of them. And we should feel very fortunate as elected officials and community members. And so,
Well,
they deserve all the credit.
we appreciate you and your commitment all these years, what you've done for pre-K. Absolutely. The last time I did it, I had somebody meet me at the Shell, and then I went around and they dropped me off just a little bit out of sight of the finish line. So I said, man, he's fast.
Did you win?
Speaking of team members, what's Barry's last name?
I did not get, I'll find it.
Barry, who works in arts and entertainment, who sung the national anthem.
Oh, yeah, he was awesome.
Okay, yeah.
It gave me goosebumps, and I cannot remember his last name, but it gave me goosebumps. And, I don't know if there's a video out there, but my goodness, we got to get him out singing the national anthem more. He was amazing, amazing. Thank you, Mr.
I
Thomas.
need to recruit him.
Franklin. Barry Franklin.
Barry Franklin.
Yes, sir.
Right.
4th of July?
All right, Brandy.
So I've got one board for you guys today. This is the Ability Alliance of West Alabama. As you guys have in front of you, their executive director sent over a letter requesting that we reappoint Ms. Deborah Tucker to this board. Ms. Tucker has served on this board since 2011, and since then she's been an awesome asset to that board. If you guys are okay with that, we can go ahead and reappoint her for another 6-year term that will expire in April of 2029.
She's great. She's a nice lady. She's near Watley, right?
She was at what? She's still there?
So I don't think she's there. No.
All right, everybody good with that?
What is Ability Alliance?
It is, they actually have to get jobs for those who are disabled. Is that correct?
Yes, the intellectually disabled, yes, sir.
Right. They had a name change several years ago.
Yes, they serve Tuscaloosa County, Bibb County, and Pickens County, so they kind of work hand in hand with those 3 counties.
Forgot what they were originally. call,
The
yeah. But the-
mental health.
Okay,
All right.
okay,
Sounds
thank
good.
you. All right, Mr. Holmes,
Yes, sir. Good afternoon, council.
afternoon.
I am over here towards the top of page 2, where on page 11, you'll be authorizing the mayor to execute a support agreement with the Department of Veterans Affairs. That was discussed last week in public safety. On page 12, you'll be authorizing termination of a contract with City Sourced Inc. That was discussed last week in projects. On page 13, you'll be authorizing a contract with NEC Corporation of America declaring a bid law exemption pursuant to Alabama Code 41-16-51A15. That is for a total amount of $41,965. It comes from TPD. On page 14, you'll be authorizing payment of flood insurance premium for the Tuscaloosa River Market. That is a total of $8,227. It was discussed in finance last week. On page 15, you'll be authorizing a contract for professional engineering services with TTL. This is for the Bowers Park concept site plan. That is a total not to exceed $203,200. That was discussed in projects last week. On page 16 and 17, you'll be tentatively awarding a public works contract with Rev Construction. I'm sorry, I've lost my place all of a sudden. This is for State Route 69 intersection improvements at State Route 17, US 11 Skyland Boulevard, utility relocation project. That has a total of $9,603,609. That was discussed in projects last week and is reimbursed by TICRIC. On page 18, you'll be authorizing amendment number 1 to the utility consultant engineering agreement with Cassidy Company, Inc. for Aldot water and sewer relocation for 69 South intersection improvements. This is for the same project and is for $176,452.22. Again, it was discussed in projects last week and is reimbursed by TICRIC. On page 19, you'll be authorizing a funding agreement with the Tuscaloosa Public Library for a total of $1,100,000. This came out of Finance Committee last week. On page 20 through 21, you'll be tentatively awarding a public works contract with Interliner Solutions LLC for the 2023 CMP lighting project. That is a total of $339,000.50, and that came from projects last week. On page 22, you'll be authorizing amendment number 8 for fiscal year 2023 General Fund Reserve for Future Improvements Fund budget. That was discussed in Finance Committee last week. On page 23, you'll be authorizing amendment number 4 to fiscal year 2023 Water and Sewer Reserve for Future Improvements Fund budget. Again, that was discussed in Finance last week. On page 25, you'll be authorizing amendment number 13 to fiscal year 2023 General Fund budget. And again, that was discussed in Finance last week. Does anybody have any questions for me?
Any questions for Scott? No executive sessions today?
None that I'm aware of. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, today we have projects, 2:30, finance 3:15. Admin at 4, properties has been canceled, and 6 o'clock, of course, our council meeting. Special call to the planning and zoning meeting will be, or framework will be Wednesday, tomorrow at 5. And then the fire and police pension board at 9 on Monday. And Chief Smith, you want to give us an update on your lunches?
Yes, sir. Tomorrow, council, mayor, all invited. We'll be serving from 11 to 2, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. We'll be rotating crews through, basically just to say thank you to all our personnel.
Okay, that's at number 1?
At 3200. It's at Greensboro Avenue, 3200
So
Greensboro Avenue.
can we come every day and get a lunch?
If you'd like to, yes.
All righty. Thank you for doing that.
Thank you.
Any department heads have anything, or city staff? Hey, do I hear a motion to adjourn?
So moved. Second.
There's a motion